So, what is resurrection? It's the thing we talk about on Easter Sunday. Um, Jesus was resurrected. It's a word we throw around. I mean, if you do a little bit of research, you know it's um, rising from the dead, and you can fill in all the zombie jokes you want right now. My kids have certainly filled in enough over the years. The thing is, the resurrection is not merely people rising out of the grave. A lot of movie makers have done that, and a lot of authors might picture that. But that's not the promise of resurrection in the Bible. So, um, to look at resurrection, there's a couple of places we have to look. First of all, in the end of the Gospel of John, when Mary Magdalene is talking to Jesus, she doesn't recognize him at first. So she is talking to this person, asking where Jesus is, and doesn't recognize that that's him right in front of her until he talks and she recognizes that's who she's been following. So that's one. Number two is in the book of Revelation. And Revelation is problematic for a whole lot of reasons. And if you're really that interested, there's a Revelation study on the website that you can go and look at if you want to. But there's a part in Revelation where John is called up into a new body, a new being, when he goes and sees all this wild and wacky stuff that's going to happen throughout the book of Revelation. So these are two clues for us about how resurrection is supposed to happen. It's not simply us being reanimated once we have died. And that actually was a fear for a long time. That's why a lot of Christians didn't want to have anything to do with cremation, because if the body was burnt, then how could you be brought back to life? But we have this promise that resurrection is going to be a new body, a new way of looking. It's not till we speak and talk and act that people are going to recognize this is us. And that is the promise for everybody. Doesn't matter who we are, doesn't matter what we have done. If we believe, if we have repented, if we have lived the life, we are all invited to this resurrection. And one of the problems with Christianity over the centuries is it's become this real in club that unless you are doing everything the way we want it to be done, then none of these promises are not for you. And Jesus taught us differently. Like, we don't have to like the people who will also enjoy resurrection, but it's not up to us to judge who's in and who's out. God's taken care of that, and God isn't judging the way we would want to anyway. So this isn't an exclusive thing. You don't. If anyone tells you if you have to follow a certain way of doing something, or else the resurrection is denied to you, that's a lie. That's false. There's nothing there. As long as we are human beings capable of compassion, which, let's face it, everybody is, we are included in that promise. Now, what it's going to look like completely in the end, I have no idea. No one does. But the promise holds. And that's what resurrection is. That's what we are celebrating today on Easter. It's not just that Jesus came back from the dead, it's that all of us are promised a new life at the very end of all creation. Have to wait for it, but the promise is there for everybody, even you.